Hey everyone, welcome to the show. I have an update to share about one of Trump's Capitol insurrectionists. It's time for an episode of Where Are They Now?
Matthew Bledsoe was arrested.
Patrick Montgomery was in court.
Jonathan Manapa will stay in federal custody.
No, I don't take responsibility at all.
So 55-year-old Army veteran and California resident Tommy Allan fully believed Donald Trump's election fraud fairy tale. In the weeks preceding the Capitol attack, he sent messages encouraging his friends to, quote, fight with your fist and, quote, stand and fight now. Allan also called for martial law, spelled Marshall, just like our lawmakers were finding out now. So again, I keep asking, who is this Marshall guy? Anyway, he griped about the commies and he said in one message, quote, I'm not done fighting. On the contrary, I'm marching to the battlefield. On January 2nd of 2021, Allan shared an invitation on social media to an event on January 6th that Trump supporters were calling Operation Occupy the Capitol. That was supposed to be nationwide, by the way. And on January 3rd, Allan wrote in a message, quote, war sucks. I hope we can avoid it. But if these bastards won't hear the evidence, it's on. The same day, he messaged another person saying that when he and others arrived in DC, they would, quote, organize, plot, plan, fight. And he said he hoped to hook up with the Proud Boys. Not sure exactly how he meant that, but okay, no judgment. On January 6th, Allan shared photos on social media, including a photo of members of the 3%ers, and he captioned it, quote, these are my people, patriots. He then followed up with posts saying, quote, we fight for our country, fight for Trump, and quote, to the Capitol we go. Some have already stormed the barricades, patriots. So once he reached the Capitol, Allan recorded others using barricades as ladders to try to reach the building. And he was heard saying, quote, we're storming the walls. And Allan used a rope himself to scale the side of the building. And in another narrated video, Allan said, fucking, they're breaking the windows down. They're kicking in the windows. They're breaking the windows. We fucking fought. You're either with us or against us. Freedom or tyranny. Liberty or tyranny, good or evil, that's how I see it. Then, just minutes after the first breach of the building, he illegally entered as alarms were blaring, glass on the floor from broken windows from his fellow patriots. He then made his way through the building. He went into the parliamentarian's office. Somewhere along the way in a hallway, he stole a flag and a flagpole, and then he joined a group that was confronting officers, and he moved to the front of the crowd. So he was directly in front of an officer when he was seen on surveillance footage, pointing in the officer's face and yelling at him. He then joined with the others. They pushed past that line of police, and then he made his way to the second floor where he entered the Senate chamber. He raised his fist in celebration, and you guys might remember Allan because he was actually standing next to the QAnon shaman on the Senate dais, and he was waving his stolen flag back and forth. He then walked around the chamber. He stole some documents that were lying on the desk of Senate staff members. After being ejected from the Senate, an officer took the flag from him, but he didn't actually see the documents. So Allan retained those stolen documents. And then when he exited the Capitol, he held the documents up, in celebration again for Trump's mob to see. So he later spoke with someone who was recording a Facebook video, and he again held the papers up. At this time, he showed them each of the pages, and he said, quote, here's a Trump fucking letter right here. Trump signed it. I took this off fucking McConnell's desk. And then he told the person, quote, I came from California to do this, storming the motherfucking building. And when they brought those walls down, I stormed it. For all the shit you're saying, you don't have to fucking preach to me, brother. I fucking lived it. Allan also admitted, quote, we just pushed. And he claimed that the police, quote, cowered when they were doing this pushing into the building. And when asked why he took these documents, Allan said, quote, I'm a taxpayer. I paid for this. And then he complained about the stolen flag being taken away from him. I mean, how dare they? He also said, quote, everybody always talks shit about me at home. You know, I'm the fucking patriot. It's a bunch of fucking liberals and then me. Well, I fucking lived up to my word. So, following the attack, Allan sent a picture of the stolen documents and a cigar to one of his friends. And in the message, he said, quote, best day ever, and quote, awesome day, and God was glorified. Also, quote, may have grabbed the cigar off the desk too. Figured I paid for it. He pays for a lot. And Allan continued to post online. He warned Congress that if they don't listen, quote, things will get worse. And he promised to, quote, step up again. He also wrote, quote, it was all Trump supporters, and I'm proud of it. I don't want BLM to take any credit for our patriotic actions. Yet, when he returned to California, he destroyed all of the evidence of his so-called patriotic actions. He also deleted his Facebook account. He burned the stolen documents. He deactivated his cell phone and then purchased a new one. Then the deactivation of his phone happened the day after he was visited by the FBI, which was on January 15th of 2021. So Allan was arrested on January 22nd of 2021 in a superseding indictment. He was charged with destroying documents, obstructing an official proceeding, theft of government property, entering a restricted building, 2 counts of disorderly conduct, entering the floor of Congress, and parading in a Capitol. In August of 2022, Allan pleaded guilty to the obstruction charge. So he was looking at up to 20 years in prison, 3 years of probation, and $250,000 in fines. However, the prosecutor asked for only 2 years in prison, 3 years of probation, and $2,000 in restitution. At the sentencing hearing, Allan changed his tune. He apologized to Congress members. He apologized to the police, also to both the Biden and the Trump administration for some reason. He apologized to his community and the nation. So U.S. District Judge Colleen Kolar-Cotelli presided over this case, and she commended Allan for being one of the only people who has come before her and actually apologized to the country. I don't buy it. But she said that January 6th was, quote, an inexcusable attack on our democracy. And Judge Cotelli reminded him, quote, the Constitution doesn't sanction an insurrection or rebellion. The judge also said that he violated his military oath to uphold the Constitution. So when all was said and done, Allan was sentenced to 21 months in prison, 3 years of probation, and $2,000 in restitution. Not enough. I wish she would have given the prosecutor everything they asked for, which I'm surprised she didn't, because this judge usually does, especially since this guy was talking about violence, not just prior to, but after January 6th. After he had time and distance from it, he was still talking crap. He was still making threats. So not anywhere near enough, but this is better than what most of them are getting, I guess. But I don't think that this is a deterrent. I really don't. So anyway, guys, if I hear any more, I'll let you know. Thank you so much. Please like, share, subscribe. Please donate. I really appreciate it. I appreciate all of you. Take care, and I'll talk with you soon.